We are now in lesson 9-3. We're going to be ordering rational numbers. We'll start off with the launch problem, try your hardest, and then we'll move on from there.
The skateboard manager posts her final boarder ratings. After much complaint, she deducts a half point and then posts each boarder's completely final rating. Drag the boarder scores to order the completely final ratings. Tell if you would have solved the problem differently if the ratings were integers instead of rational numbers.
Here's the solution to the launch problem. The process of ordering is the same, and you would make sure that the number that was greatest was in the first place, and the least would be in third place. Like I said, it's the same as if you were using integers, it's just now we're using decimal points. Here we are in part 1.
A number line is a helpful tool to order a set of rational numbers from greatest to least, or least to greatest.
The number line helps us because we know numbers that are to the right on the number line are going to be our greatest numbers, and numbers to the left are going to be our lesser numbers. We're now going to be ordering these numbers from least to greatest. When I look at this, I see that I have 2 positive numbers and I have 2 negative numbers. So I can start with either one. The number that I think is easiest to look at is -5. And I know that -5 is less than -1/2. I also know that -1/2 can be written as -0.5. So when I'm looking at -1/2 and -5, this one's the least, this one's a little bit bigger. This one has a 0 in the one spot and this one has a 2. So I know that I can then order them just like this, that 2.1 or 2 1/10 is my greatest number on here. If I checked the answer, you'd see I got it right. This got it problem is wanting you to order the numbers from greatest to least. If you want to work on a number line, you can. That might help you to draw it off to the side on a piece of paper or in your notes. But the answer is either going to be A, B, C, or D. Remembering, it's greatest to least. The correct answer is B. 6.8 is my greatest number on here. Then I have -22/100ths, -15/7. That one I can simplify to make it a little bit easier to read. I can rewrite it as -2 1/7, and I know that -2 1/7 is going to be less than -22/100ths, but greater than -3 on a number line. Moving on to part 2.
The table shows possible elevations, expressed as rational numbers relative to sea level, of 4 ocean animals. Order those animals swimming deeper than 1 kilometer, from least depth to greatest depth. Explain your reasoning.
Alright, so one part in this that is an important factor is order those animals swimming deeper than 1 kilometer. Deeper than 1 kilometer, meaning anything that is less than 1 kilometer is not going to count. So I look at my deep sea anglerfish. I see that I am going down -2/3. That is not going down a whole kilometer. So this fish does not matter for our answer. The fanfin anglerfish swims down -2 1/4 of a kilometer, so that is more than just -1. This one is more than -1 because of the 1900ths that are added onto it. And the Pacific black dragon is -3/10, so that does not go down 1 kilometer. So this is also one that's going to be crossed off of our list. It then says to order them from least depth to greatest depth. If I'm looking at a number line that goes up and down, and here is 0, I want to know which one am I going to get to first, because that's going to be the least depth. 0 is sea level. So it's, if this is water, it's where the water starts. If I'm going down, I would first get to the gulper eel, or however you say it. And then I would swim further down, I could see the fanfin anglerfish. So this is the first one. The anglerfish is the second one. We're now moving on to the part 2 got it problem.
Now, use the table to order those animals swimming at depths less than 1 kilometer, from greatest depth to least depth. Explain your reasoning.
This is very similar to the problem that we just did, but again, it's important to know that the question is asking, order those animals that are swimming at a depth less than 1 kilometer, and you're going to order those from greatest depth to least depth. To find my answer, I'm first going to cross out those that are swimming more than 1 kilometer down. So those are going to be the 2 ones that I did in my previous problem. And now it wants me to do greatest depth to least depth. So if I had my number line where 0 is sea level, I want to know which one is down here first, and then if I'm swimming up towards sea level, which one comes second. So now I need to determine which one is my smaller number, or the one that goes down furthest on my number line. If I divided 2 divided by 3, I would find that I have a repeating decimal. So it is actually negative 0.6666 repeating. I'm just going to write 66 and put a line over there to show it's repeating. If I divided this out, 3 divided by 10, I would get negative 0.3, or 3/10. So if I'm dealing with a number line, I know that this is going to be my deeper fish, the deep sea anglerfish. So this is number 1. And the Pacific black dragon is going to be the fish at the least depth. There is a part 3 to this lesson, however, that's something that we're going to skip over. I don't want you to focus on it. We could possibly get back to it at a later point in time, but for now, I'm going to say we're ending after part 2. So again, in lesson 9-3, we are not doing part 3. See you guys in class.